Welcome, everybody, to the Friday Forecast of Stay Tuned Sports prognostication show that we do here. It's going to be coming at you every single Friday. If you've been noticing, every Friday we're here giving you a breakdown of what me, myself, King, and your good friend Jimbo right over there, what we feel each NFL division is going to be doing in the upcoming season. Now, during the season, every Friday, it's going to be where we predict our games and, see who's going to win. Overall, at the end of the year, who's going to bring home the trophy? Another trophy. I'm going to have to come up with another trophy. We got the belt. I have the main picks for our group chat. Then we're just going to have one for me and you, I suppose. I don't know. Maybe we'll have another show in here as well. Oh, maybe we'll do a little competition with them as well. We'll see. We're in discussions. Things are happening here. But anyway, we've gone through all of the AFC. We did that in the first 4 weeks. Then we've gone through the NFC West. And now this week is the NFC South, correct?
Yes.
All right. So that's going to leave only two more divisions because that means we're actually less than 2 weeks away from the start of the NFL season. 13 days, as it were. I'm excited. Yes. Jimbo, how you feeling?
Pretty excited. I got my new jersey in. My Jeremiah Trotter Jr.
I noticed that was a bit of a different number. Yeah, I see you went with the alternate. Are they wearing alternate black this year?
I don't believe so. But the funny part is I have probably about 10 or 12 overall jerseys, hockey, football, and I probably have 8 or 9 Eagles ones. No black ones. I don't know how I did that.
I could have sworn you had. No, that's not true. I thought you had a Black Dawkins one.
It may be upstairs in one of the Tupperware things.
Maybe not. I don't know who it was, but I could have sworn you had a Black Eagles jersey.
That's what I thought too, but I didn't have one down here, so I was like, okay, I'll pick this one up. And debating if I want to wear it tomorrow at the preseason game. It's supposed to be 85 games at 1. Pretty sure the sun's gonna be hitting that side at that time. So
yeah, maybe you got some white jerseys there. Wear the white ones. Be like the players. Yeah. The Eagles are probably going to be wearing their white jerseys tomorrow anyway. So you can match up with them.
I'm just hoping to see. I know it's only a couple days removed, but I'm hoping Dotson plays. I want to see how he is.
Dotson. We got Dotson here. By the way, Washington, what the fuck are we doing? I don't know. It's that was a very Snyder-esque move.
Yeah, and the funny part is I believe we wanted him in the draft, but Washington picked him, and then we traded. I forget which pick it was to Tennessee to get our 18th overall pick to get AJ Brown in the same draft, or something like that.
So, not what I wanted to see. The Eagles getting another very nice offensive piece to go with everything else that they have going down there. Again, I don't understand why. Listen, the Giants tried trading with Washington for the draft, and Washington was like, no, we don't trade in the division. We're not going to trade in the division. Not a draft pick. Not that high. Not in the division. And granted, they did need a quarterback who is their starting quarterback now in Jaden Daniels and everything like that. But now, and now they go ahead and they just say, we'll trade in the division, just not with the Giants. We'll do it with the Eagles. I thought everybody hated the Eagles anyway. Washington's got a pretty big rivalry with the Eagles as well. So, again, it's hard to have a rivalry when you suck for 30 years. But, and you also can't decide on what nickname you want to be called. But whatever. I don't know. Whatever. Whatever's clever. I don't even care anymore. Don't even care. But be that as it may, that's more NFC East talk, and that's coming up in just a couple of weeks when we get there. And, of course, the NFC North will be next week. But for this week, it's going to be the NFC South. So let's go over here. Let's get ready to knock this out here. Jimbo, of course, you will be up first. And, let's just right into it. I know we had talked about the AFC North. At least I've talked about the AFC North being maybe the best division in football. The NFC South for a couple of years now has been kind of sort of the the sick man of the NFL, like the weakest division, as it were. I don't know if that'll be the same this year or not. I think a lot of people are thinking it's going to be that way. Let's see what you think. Jimbo, let's pop this up here and break it down for us. Your NFC South predictions for 2024.
All right, so I got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers winning the division, 14-3. They got Baker Mayfield coming back, Mike Evans coming back. I don't believe they lost too many pieces. I believe the Carolina Panthers head coach was their offensive coordinator, so that might be a question mark there going into the season. Like, how much is the offense going to change? But the way Baker and Mike Evans, their connection there, and is it Goodwin or Godwin?
Don't put me on the spot. I don't know. I might have called them both.
However you say it. I mean, there's
good Godwin.
They're still talented receivers. So I don't think the offense is going to take too much of a step back. In second place, I have the Atlanta Falcons. You know, there's a lot of question marks of why did they pay Kirk Cousins all that money only to draft Penix. Cousins, if healthy, he could win them a couple of those games just by himself, as long as it's not prime time.
You mean Cousins?
Yes, Kirk Cousins.
Okay, you said Penix.
Oh, okay. I swear I haven't had a beer yet. I'm actually.
Listen. Sometimes you just get Penix on the brain, so. You just can't. Sometimes you just think about that big Penix that's out there, and you just can't stop thinking about it. I get it. I understand it.
They do have the weapons. They have, Bijan Robinson. They have, Jesus Christ, the tight end. I can't think of him right now.
Pitts.
There we go. So I mean, they got some young talent. For either Cousins or Penix, whoever's going to be the starter week one, because I believe there's still some question marks with Kirk Cousins being available for week one. And so, that's going to be tough for them. Third place, I have the Carolina Panthers coming at 4-13. I believe they're going to be slightly better. With the new head coach, as long as their owner stays the hell out of the way, let this coach, let Bryce Young grow a little bit underneath this head coach, and
my doorbell is ringing. Oh, they're here. The cops are here. They're coming to get me.
They should be able to improve slightly. They're not going to be playoff bound by any means, but they should be better than last year. And bringing up the rear, I have the New Orleans Saints at 2-15. Felt like they haven't really done anything to improve themselves. You don't know what car you're getting. Are you getting the one that threw, I think it was like 6 touchdowns and 2 interceptions in 4 games or whatever it was, or are you getting the just throwing interceptions left and right?
Is Kamara still holding in? Uh-oh. What happened there? There we go. We're good. New stuff going on, folks. We're fine.
Yeah. He hasn't gotten a new contract yet, so I would be willing to bet he's probably still holding out. But they're just I think they're going to be one of the worst teams this year, if not the worst team. So that's why I got the NFC South the way I do.
Interesting. And here's the thing. I like the Saints. I want to see them do well because I like Derek Carr too.
Yeah.
But I have to tell you, I'm not too far off from what you got here.
Okay.
I think we're only a little bit different. And that's really just at the bottom of the division, but it's still like not great for either one of them. But over the last couple, here's the thing, especially like the last week, and seeing some of the moves that the Falcons did, I actually went and reevaluated how I had them, and how I picked them and how I picked some of the games for them to win or lose. And while not changing anybody else's that we've already predicted, because I felt that would have been wrong to do because I've already predicted them, and then to take a win or a loss away from somebody else and, either give a win or a loss to somebody else would have been pretty shitty to do. So, but just looking at what they had, what was available for what I thought was more likely for them to do, I actually changed where I had the Atlanta Falcons finishing in my original look. So let's go ahead. We're going to take a look and see what I had, and that was simply this. Not too much dissimilar, except maybe with the Falcons winning a couple more games here than what you had, and again, the bottom of the division changing a bit. I have the Buccaneers there at 13-4. Again, I think I like what Baker's building down there. I like what they're actually doing down there, and you have, Evans has signed down there to like you had mentioned in your report that again you have Evans down there. He's a Buccaneer for life. He's still an incredible wide receiver talent. They have pieces. Do they have major superstars? Do they have all these other things? Maybe not. But I think they have enough good pieces to be a very good team, and what is essentially a weaker division from what other people are saying. Now, I think where their challenge is going to come from, believe it or not, I think is the Falcons this year. And again, like I said, with some of the moves, especially on the defensive side of the ball that they made, getting Judon, getting Simmons, I believe it was from, he was in Denver last year. They signed him. Yeah. Got him there as a cornerback. And I think they actually had another trade actually just yesterday or early this morning, something I can't remember. But they've done work on the defensive side of the ball. I think they always had the offensive weapons, but they didn't have a quarterback last year, So now you have Kirk Cousins, who, from everything I said, you said they're not sure about week one. It looks like he's pretty solid to be the week one starter. So, having Kirk Cousins there, and then even if he doesn't play well or isn't ready or does get injured, a lot kind of like we talked a little bit about Bo Nix in the main show yesterday, which you can go check out on our YouTube channel. You can go like, share, and subscribe to us on there. If you listen to us on the podcast, if you're watching us on YouTube, thank you very much. Again, like, share, and subscribe helps us out a ton. But like we had mentioned on the main show yesterday, like with Bo Nix in Denver, Michael Penix is as veteran of a rookie as you can get. He's played a long time in college. Granted, he was injured a little bit, but he has a ton of experience. He played very well. I mean, and the guy was in the national championship game last year. So he was able to lead his team and beat Bo Nix in the last Pac-12 championship of all time. He went and beat Bo Nix head to head. So, when it comes to that, I think the Falcons went from last year having no quarterbacks to now this year having two very good options at quarterback. Whether that's something Kirk Cousins wanted or not, it's what he's got. But overall, I think that's actually better for the Falcons. Like I said, I think they're better defensively. I think they've always had some of these offensive weapons, like we talked about Kyle Pitts, Bijan Robinson. I do think that the Falcons are going to be one of those teams that people look at the end of the year, kind of like how we saw the Buccaneers last year, where it was like, wow, they really took a step where we thought they were going to suck, and they're really good. I think that's where we're going to look at the Falcons. I think just having that is going to be a nice little. They're going to get a pretty good bump here. I have them at 11-6. Unfortunately, again, I have the Saints at 4-13. I like Derek Carr. I like the Saints. I would hope they would be doing well. Again, I just like New Orleans in general. I like Mardi Gras. It's a great city. You got beads, you got titties, you got hurricanes, you got fun, and it's just New Orleans is a vibe, and so I'm always going to root for the Saints. I always like the Saints, but it just doesn't seem like there's a lot there. It doesn't seem like there's a lot of cohesion. It doesn't seem like the coaching staff is good. I mean, for lack of a better term, it's a big mess. I think, unfortunately. Speaking of messes, Carolina, it seems to be on that mid-2010s Browns run of.
Yeah.
I just don't think they're good. I don't think they have good players. I don't know if Bryce Young is that guy. I again, they got rid of Brian Burns. Like, maybe they're one of their only good defensive elements, and I think they actually traded somebody this week too. Around, again, that's off the top of my head, so I don't know exactly. But it seems like they've traded somebody else from the defense. So it looks like their defense, it seems like a farm team almost. It seems like it's just a lot of different varying pieces. They have a rookie head coach who is now coming into a situation with what I think we all consider to be a bad owner.
Yeah.
And I just don't. I can't see them putting really anything together, and that's why for a second straight year I have them at 1-16.
But how much is that on the owner for not letting the team gel together? You know,
No, listen. I think it's an organizational problem from top to bottom. I'm not saying it's, I'm not saying it's the coaching staff who is brand new there this year. Like, it's not their fault. They're inherited this mess. I'm not saying it's. I think it's an organizational problem from the top to the bottom, and it starts with Tepper, and we've seen that. Now it's going. The problem is that as easy as it is to fuck that up, it's harder to fix it. And it takes a longer time to then fix the things that you screwed up. So it's going to take the Panthers a very long time to fix the last 2 or 3 years that they've had down there. Like, it's going to take some time. And this is going to be a hard time to kind of go through for them. And again, not exactly the best time to be saying that we're going to be, building over, what was it, $750 million to over $1 billion worth of improvements and investments, and taxpayer money is going to be doing it. Like, maybe be more winning before you start doing any of that, because that seems to be what they're doing down there. And listen, the stuff looks great, and it looks it'll be great for the fan experience. But if you go 1-16 again, or something similar, if you only win 2 or 3 or even 4 games, it's not like it's going to be like last year with them, where there was like 750 fans in the stands, which ironically saw them win their only game of the year against the Falcons that year. So I think Tepper, for all his words of saying like, "Oh, I'm learning how to do this, and I'm going to make sure I change all that and everything like that." We'll see. If he fires the coach, but if the coach is still there after week 6, maybe he's learned his lesson. Maybe he'll be like that. But we'll see, and we don't know. Like, if they start out 0-6 and he fires the coach again and does something like that, is it gonna be that? Are we gonna go down that route? Because it's gonna be, I just said route. I'm Canadian for some reason, going in the route. If overall, it's just a mess down there, and I want to be optimistic. Like, I don't want anybody to feel like this is the start of the season. This is where everybody should be optimistic. This is what I talked about with everybody else. Like me, trying to be optimistic about Daniel Jones and the Giants, and I feel optimistic. I'm going to look at everything glass half full. This is right before the season. This is where everybody should be thinking they got a chance. We got a chance to improve. We got a chance to win. We got a chance. All that stuff. I'm finding it hard to do that for the Panthers. And it sucks. I wish it wasn't that way. I wish I wish there was a better way. And I wish I felt differently. But as things stand now, that's what it seems like. That's what it feels like to me. And so, like, again, I don't mean to shit on the Panthers, and I'm not shitting on Panthers fans. I'm not shitting on their passion or what they feel like. I'm just saying it doesn't look promising. And if you're an honest fan, if you're an honest Panthers fan, you have to sit there and understand that, it doesn't look great. Yeah. It doesn't. It doesn't look great right now for what you're doing. And again, I don't know if you have the right quarterback. He is small. He's short. Doesn't have a great arm. So like, even at his best, is he going to be a franchise changer? I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's how I have it. I have the Buccaneers at 13-4, winning the division. The Falcons giving them a run for their money though, at 11-6. The Saints coming in with a disappointing 4-13, and that might be the end of a lot of the coaching administration there, and maybe some of the players down there as well. And the Panthers, unfortunately, I have them bringing up the rear at 1-16, which again is not great. And as for Jimbo, let's recap yours. Here we had yours. You had the Buccaneers again winning the division as well at 14-3, having a little bit more space with the Atlanta Falcons, who are at 8-9. You have them there at 8-9. The Panthers with the 4-13, whereas I had the Saints at 4-13, and giving the Panthers a little bit more of a boost this season, which actually 4-13 for Panthers fan might be a successful season.
Yeah.
Depending on how you look at it. And you have the Saints and Derek Carr only getting a measly 2 wins down there in the Big Easy. It's going to be big hard for a lot of those people down there in the Big Easy. It's going to be not a great season down there, according to Jimbo, at least anyway. And me too. I only have them winning 2 more games, so it's not great. Still not great. But so that is our NFC South forecast here on the Friday forecast, as we now head into the final preseason weekend of the NFL. We already had a couple games yesterday. We had the Colts and the Bengals and the Chiefs and the Bears. The Colts are the only team that played any of their starters for any significant amount of time. And Anthony Richardson looked... I like him. I've been pushing him.
Yeah.
I've been pushing for it. I like Anthony Richardson. I've been pushing him. I'm like, this kid, I think, is good. He's going to be something and everything like that. But last night, against second stringers, there was some good. There was some good. Don't get me wrong. There was some good. And then there was some bad. There was some bad.
Though,
so
he's still technically, well, not technically, but basically going into his rookie season.
No, he played what, 5 games last year?
4 games last year, and he was banged up in a couple of those games too.
But so I'm not going to sit there and call him a rookie. He's not a rookie.
No, he's not a rookie, but I don't think he got enough real playing time last year in the regular season.
I don't know. But we'll see. And again, it's preseason, so I think there's a lot of times where you maybe do a little bit more, or you try to squeeze something there, see if you can do it, see if you can do things. That's what I mean. That's why I never took too much stock when people say, oh, they had a real bad practice today. Oh, did you see what this quarterback... Like the other day, apparently the Jets had a bad practice. And people were saying, this is the worst practice the Jets have had. It was so bad. And Aaron Rodgers couldn't complete a pass. And Sauce Gardner got beat. And Garrett Wilson couldn't catch a pass. And it was all like everything was saying bad. But I think that's the point of practice. Like you practice different plays. You practice new things. You try to see how things work out. And when you first try stuff, it's not going to work. That's the point, is that you have to keep on doing it. And what's the word? Oh, practice it before it gets any better. So I never looked into, like, people like NFL pundits, people on ESPN, some of these other people on YouTube love doing, there was a bad pass. Did you see that? Oh my God, he's the worst. Could he be a bust? This is terrible. Oh, they got to get rid of this guy. He's like, or somebody will make a spectacular catch, and it's like, oh my God, this guy's going to be the next greatest thing. It's like, yeah, but it was 7-on-7s, and it was just like passing drills. Like, what? Like, when it comes to training camp, when it comes to practices, everybody needs to chill the fuck out.
Yeah.
Relax. It's practice. To quote good old AI, we're talking about fucking practice. Not a game. Not talking about a game. I'm talking about practice.
Practice.
The answer, no. He know. And he's right. And he's absolutely right as well. So college football starts this weekend. Florida State and Georgia Tech out there in Ireland. That's going to be just getting back into the fun of it. I'm excited for that. You're going to be at the Eagles and Vikings preseason game.
Yeah.
With the wife. You enjoy that. Try to stay cool. Don't wear sunscreen. Wear the sunscreen. Even if it's cloudy, those UV rays come in and your ass will be burnt and you're going to be red as a tomato the next time we do a show. The countdown next week, you're going to be red as shit. Don't do that. And then I'll be watching the Giants and Jets clearly on Saturday night. Not sure if I'll live stream it or not. We'll see how I feel. But outside of that, oh yeah, my birthday's on Sunday. So happy birthday to me. Another year closer to the inevitable stench of death. But
I thought you were going to be glass half full guy. Stop with the.
I am. That's a that's a hopeful prediction. Hey, anyway, thank you guys so much for joining us, for subscribing, for just everything that you do for us. It really is amazing. Thank you so much. Please share us around, share us with your friends, share us on social media. It really helps us out. And if you can get people to go ahead and to like, share, and subscribe. I know I hate being a whore for it, but it really does help. The more subscribers we get, the closer we can get to monetization. And the closer we get to monetization means the closer I can get to getting a new microphone and a new shock mount, and we can get we can afford better streaming abilities. Because right now we're doing shit by hook or by crook, baby. It's working. We've been able to do it, but it would be a lot better if we had other options. And you are the ones that help us do that. So thank you so very much. And also, donation station over there if you want to help us out, and the merch store. It's like donating, but you get cool stuff with it. So I think that's going to be it. Any final thoughts? Any parting shots here, Jimbo, before we close out this? Close to not quite the penultimate end of the preseason Friday forecasts that we're doing.
We're right there. You know, one weekend left of preseason games.
Yep.
I don't think there's any preseason games next.
Nope, we
next
get to
week.
buy. There's a preseason buy, as it were, and then that's it. We're 13 days. We're less than 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You know, there's one more football-less Thursday.
Yes.
Next Thursday is the last football-less Thursday until the beginning of January.
But there is college football next Saturday, so we have football here.
But now that's the thing. We've got college football this weekend, and now it's just college football and football season is here. So grab your hard cider, grab your beers, grab your pumpkin spice lattes, grab your chips, grab your buffalo wings. Even though they're fucking expensive, God. That's the thing. I'm not gonna. We don't bring politics up here. We don't.
No.
However, if there was a presidential candidate that promised, amongst all the other promises that they make, to lower the goddamn price of buffalo wings back to what they should be,
Yeah.
I'd vote for them.
Yeah.
And listen to how smooth and gravelly my voice is right now. That tells you I'm serious. I grew up in an age where you walked into a bar on a Sunday and it was 25-cent wing day. I want my 25-cent goddamn wings back. Bring it back, America.
I won't say when this happened, because then you can figure out what president was in there. But I remember with Dad at the bar, owning the bar, 25, 30-cent wings. And then all of a sudden it shot up to like $1 a wing. Like it just skyrocketed.
Yes,
it was outrageous.
Absolutely insane. And that needs to change. Just like that guy from New York who was like, the rent is too damn high. The buffalo wing price is too damn high.
Too damn high.
King for president. I'm going to lower them wing prices.
Jimbo for Secretary of Defense.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Red button? Oh.
You can't do the Buddy Ryan rule on the international stage, Jimbo. You can't do it.
Why not? No one would fuck with this thing.
I'm just going to cheap shot Putin. One shot. Hey, he'll know. He'll understand. He'll get it.
That's my parting words.
There we go, everybody. So, for your good friend Jimbo, I am your boy King. Everybody, have a great weekend. Adios.